What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA playoffs. Thursday, April 21st. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NBA playoffs. We have a 3-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. This is probably one of my favorite picks on the slate. I like Stephen Curry from the Golden State Warriors playing the Denver Nuggets. And Stephen Curry has averaged 45.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 31% usage rate. He's projected at 47.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 8,900 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel, and Stephen Curry scored 49 and 29 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 22 and 21 minutes. So if Stephen Curry can get his season average 35 plus minutes, I think he could explode for 50 plus fantasy points and crush value. So I like Stephen Curry here versus the Denver Nuggets. Okay, now here's a value play. I like Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz playing the Dallas Mavericks. Jordan Clarkson has averaged 26.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. He's projected at 25.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 4,900 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel, and Jordan Clarkson has scored 26, 10, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 22, 19, and 28 minutes. So I like Jordan Clarkson here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz playing the Dallas Mavericks. Donovan Mitchell has averaged 42.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He's projected at 46.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 8,400 DraftKings salary, 600 more on FanDuel, and Donovan Mitchell scored 45 and 52 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 41 minutes in each of those games. So he's playing monster minutes. So I like Donovan Mitchell here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Here's another value play, especially on FanDuel. I like Reggie Bullock from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Utah Jazz. Reggie Bullock, now he's only averaged 17.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 13% usage rate, but he scored 26 and 29 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 45 and 44 minutes. So he's playing a ton of minutes. He's projected at 26.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,100 DraftKings salary, but he's 900 less on FanDuel. So I love that FanDuel price. I think he makes an excellent FanDuel value play. So I like Reggie Bullock here versus the Utah Jazz. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, All you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Anthony Edwards has averaged 37.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. He's projected at 44.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's $8,200 DraftKings salary, $600 more on FanDuel, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 236.5 points scored in this game, so it's the highest scoring game on the slate. It's a good game to stack, and Anthony Edwards has scored 31, 55, and 43 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 40, and 37 minutes. So I like Anthony Edwards here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I also like Bojan Bogdanovic from the Utah Jazz playing the Dallas Mavericks. Bojan Bogdanovic has averaged 27.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He's projected at 33.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. He's $6,000 DraftKings salary, $200 more on FanDuel, and Bojan Bogdanovic has scored 31 and 40 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 40 minutes in each of those games. So I like Bojan Bogdanovic here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Now I also like Andrew Wiggins from the Golden State Warriors playing the Denver Nuggets. Andrew Wiggins has averaged 29.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He's projected at 31.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's $5,900 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel, and Andrew Wiggins has scored 29 and 32 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 30 and 29 minutes. So I like Andrew Wiggins here versus the Denver Nuggets. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Here's another value play. I like Brandon Clark from the Memphis Grizzlies playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Brandon Clark has averaged 22.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 19 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He's projected at 27.3 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.8 times value. He's $4,700 DraftKings salary, $300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 236.5 points scored in this game, so I think this is a good way to get some low salary exposure to this high scoring game. And Brandon Clark has scored 24 and 36 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 20 and 27 minutes. So I like Brandon Clark here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Now I also like Aaron Gordon from the Denver Nuggets playing the Golden State Warriors. Aaron Gordon has averaged 28.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 27.6 fantasy points here tonight, just about 5 times value. He's 5,600 DraftKings salary, and he's 500 less on FanDuel. So I like that FanDuel price. And Aaron Gordon, now he's only scored 20 and 14 fantasy points in the last 2 games, only playing 25 and 26 minutes. But he could definitely score 30 fantasy points or more and crush value, especially on FanDuel. So I like Aaron Gordon here versus the Golden State Warriors. And moving on to the center position, you got your stud Nikola Jokic. He's 11,200 DraftKings salary, 200 more on FanDuel. Scored 52 and 55 fantasy points in his last 2 games, playing 28 and 34 minutes. Projected at 62.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. So I like Nikola Jokic here versus the Golden State Warriors. This guy has underperformed the past couple of games, and I'm looking for a big bounce back game here tonight. The price is right. So I like Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz playing the Dallas Mavericks. Rudy Gobert has averaged 41.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 41.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's only 7,600 DraftKings salary, 100 more on FanDuel. Rudy Gobert has scored 34, 32, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 37, 35, and 29 minutes. So the minutes are there for Rudy Gobert. You know, he underperformed just a little bit the last couple of games, but I think he's on track for a 40-plus fantasy point game here tonight. And you're buying low at 7,600, just a steal for Rudy Gobert. So I like Rudy Gobert here versus the Dallas Mavericks. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.